In this video, we have to understand the concept of blue-green deployment. Blue-green deployment is a method to deploy the new version of the application, and in case if we have any issue in the new version of the application, we can quickly roll back the application to the previous version in just milliseconds. Normally, we can roll back the application to the previous version by using some CI/CD pipeline, but there are quite chances if pipeline is taking time or it is stuck, it could cause the downtime of your application. So it's better to use the blue-green deployment strategy where you want to quickly roll back to the previous version. So here we have two applications. One is the blue application, then you can say it's a version 1 of the application, and green application, green deployment, that is a version 2 of the application. There is ingress resource that is pointing to the service in front of each deployment, and we just need to change in our ingress resource the service name so that ingress will point to a different application. So we need two services, two deployments, and one ingress resource. So in this diagram, there are different namespaces shown, but in this video, we have to just understand the concept, and we will use a single namespace, the default namespace, to deploy two deployments, to create two services, and one ingress resource. Our cluster is ready with ingress class, and that we already discussed in our previous video how ingress is working. So the diagram that is here is using different namespaces for the application and different namespaces for the ingress resource. This we will cover in the very next video, how we can create ingress resource in a different namespace, and ingress resource can use a deployment that is running in a different namespace. So here I have a cluster, and I created two deployments. This is blue deployment, one replica, it is using Nginx image. Similarly, a green deployment, it is using different name, green deploy, and it's using HTTPD image, just to show you a different application web page, one replica. And we just need to apply blue and green deployment. So now both are deployed, and their pods are also up. So I deployed both in the default namespace. kubectl, now I will do the expose the deployment. Name, I can give some meaningful name. By default, if you are not giving the name, it will take the name like the name of the deployment, but I just want to make some meaningful name. So I'm not defining the type. I'm just using the port 80 as an external and internal port, since it's an Nginx deployment, and namespace I'm not defining, and type I'm not defining. Type is by default the cluster IP. Second service, I'm going to expose the name blue, green. With the same port is using Apache, it's also working on the same port. So now we have two services and two deployments, and here we also have endpoints. So endpoints are there. You can see there is only one endpoint because we just use the one replica set. Now we have an ingress resource. We need to create an ingress resource. The name I gave ingress bg, mean blue green ingress. Any meaningful name you can give. Ingress class we already deployed nginx ingress, and its name is nginx. This is the domain name I am using for this application. Here is the blue app svc we created. So when the request will come to this domain, it will be pointing to this deployment, this service, and this service is pointing to this deployment. So let me create this in this resource. It's created. kubectl get ingress in the default namespace. Let me just describe this ingress resource. You can see this domain is pointing to this service, and this service is defining this endpoint, only one endpoint. Now kubectl get namespace. I have nginx ingress namespace kubectl get svc in namespace ingress, and here we created a node port to expose uh, the ingress controller. So for port 80, it's 30245. For port 443, 31723 node port is used. So if you are confused about this concept, so you can go back to our previous videos where we discuss all these concepts in very detail. So here 30245 port is responsible for port 80. We have created an ingress resource only for port 80, not for SSL offloading. So we will use this port 30245. And for my Windows machine in my host file, I already created a DNS record that is pointing to my master node. If I ping example.com, you can see it's pointing to my master node IP. So, and this is the node port that is pointing to port 80. So now here you can see the blue deployment is based on nginx. It's showing us the nginx web page. Now let me get ingress resource. Now let me edit this ingress that we created. Right now pointing to blue deployment. Then we can simply change to green deployment service. Just save it and just go back and refresh. You can see there was just a minor downtime and it's redirected to the new endpoint. So just it will take a millisecond to get the new endpoints. So the ingress source will get the new endpoints. So now it's pointing to green deployment. So now if this is the variant 2 and you face any issue, you can quickly roll back with the same method. Either you can modify the manifest of ingress we created, or you can directly modify your ingress resource. It's redirected to nginx web page. So this concept we understand to quickly roll back to the previous version to minimize the downtime of the application due to any issue. So in the next video, we have to perform the same activity, but in next video we will use the different namespaces, and we will also understand that how it is possible that ingress resource can use a deployment, can reach to a deployment that is in a different namespace. By default, the behavior is the deployment should be in the same namespace where ingress resource is defined. So if you have any question, you can leave in the comment section. I will try to reply you as soon as possible.